Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another one of our strange little podcasts of Phil's epic Antarctic adventures.
What do you mean strange?
Well, this is one we haven't done for a while. Our 21st podcast. Now, this one was actually suggested to us by various people who have watched our podcast, believe it or not, suggesting that we talk about the wildlife of Antarctica in more detail. So apparently, we don't have any wildlife or any animal life during the winter months. Is that correct?
Well, if you class humans as wildlife.
We're wildlife! Look at this, this is wildlife! Sorry.
And huskies, at least up until they were taken out, was also...
Well, please don't use that word, taken out. They were removed humanely from the area.
They were removed to other parts of the world.
Which is good, not taken out. Oops, sorry. No. So those are the only life forms on the Antarctic mainland during the winter months.
That's right.
Plus a few lichens.
Yes, well, there's a few plant-like things like lichens and mosses.
So the winter months are between, March through to October? No?
Oh, September perhaps.
Okay.
Thereabouts.
Then we start seeing the ice melting and retreating back to the mainland. And then obviously you start seeing the animals coming back into your region.
That's right. The animals tend to chase the ice edge, which can go up to about 200 kilometres out in some years from the coast. And emperor penguins, they don't leave the Antarctic at all, and they breed on the ice, which we've covered this in the past. Very unique animals, and probably the harshest breeding environment of pretty well any animal or bird on the planet, I would think. I was going to say Adelie penguins are somewhat different.
Now let's describe the difference between the two. The emperor penguins are the big ones.
Yes.
With lots of the floaty hairdo.
That was the gentoos, I think.
Okay.
But you don't get gentoos around the Mawson area. You do get them in the Antarctic, but not where we were.
Right.
But you did get lots of Adelies, lots of emperors.
Now Adelies are smaller, aren't they?
Yes, Adelies are really, when you think of a penguin, people think of it, it's the Adelies they're thinking of more than it.
So that's the white front with a black back, and they just that little waddle that they do that makes them look cute and cuddly, but really they're not.
That's right.
They're the most solid, hard, resilient birds you could think of.
They're tough little things. Yeah. Really tough. Yeah, I've got one particular video devoted to Franken penguin. The scariest creature on the face of the earth, that one.
Well, I suppose when you consider it, they're not afraid of humans. We just look like giant penguins to them. So, okay, we've got two types of penguins. We've got the emperor and the Adelie penguins. And what other penguins can we think about?
In our area, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they come in as the ice retreats.
Yes.
All right.
Now, it was very early November. We were just out cruising around the sea ice with the dogs, and we spotted an Adelie penguin. We hadn't seen them since last summer, just sitting on this island looking really sad and forlorn, all on his own. Within a week or so, the whole place was swarming with Adelie penguins coming in to the start of their breeding season. So
are they walking in, or are they swimming up to the edge and just jumping out?
They probably do both. The islands are just sticking out through the sea ice.
Yeah. Do you know they go to the same place every year?
No, the Adelies and emperors both pick the same place every year.
Okay, so we've done two lots of penguins, and now any other types of animal life?
Animal life, yes. Sorry. We do have Weddell seals. Now there are other seals in the Antarctic. In our area there was only Weddell seals.
Yeah, and how do we know what they look like?
They're great big grey or browny grey blobby animals on land. In the water they're anything but blobby. They just move. And they're the petrels that we talked about.
That's not the petrel station, is it? That's the petrels.
There's a petrel with an E at the end.
Okay. Yeah. Seals, what are they eating? So they're following in with the sea ice as well as it retreats. They're getting closer to you.
Yes, they do similar things to the penguins. They track the sea ice edge, and they eat similar to the penguins and the snow petrels. They eat krill, shrimp, small fish, mostly, and they're all carnivores, strictly carnivores.
Baby season, isn't it? At this time now. they're all
No, it's
they're all
breeding.
giving birth and having eggs.
Yeah. Well, the emperors, they've had their breeding season.
Oh, okay.
It's finishing around now. Adelies and the Weddell seals and the petrel birds are just starting at this time. That's when the sea ice edge comes within cooey of the actual Antarctic coastline. Adelies, they nest on islands or maybe a little bit on the coastline, but mostly they seem to, at least where we were, favour islands. And they build their little nests from stones, and they have wars over those stones, quite amusing.
Because they pinch each other's stones, don't they?
Yes.
You've seen them on those documentary films.
Yep.
So we got seals.
Oh, Weddell seal.
Weddell seal. I'm thinking of Wellingtons. That's why I keep Wellingtons. That's how I'm looking at it. They're big seals. They're very big animals. What sort of size are we talking about? We're talking 10 foot, 8 foot.
Oh, yeah, maybe 8 foot, something like that. Yeah.
And they're coming to the coastline to have their babies.
Yes. Except they actually breed on the ice, like the emperors, but they do it later in the year, and the ice is getting thinner.
When you say breed, are you talking about having babies or
Yes.
having sex? Sorry.
Oh, they'd be both.
Okay, just because
They're kind of linked, you know.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. They're all just. It's just a. It's a sea, an ice shelf full of animals having intercourse.
Beg your pardon.
Well,
They come in
I think it's quite a long time.
from September to November, so it'd be some actual having their sex would be, I suppose, number of months before then.
They start having babies all over the ice show.
Yes, they do.
So you're saying it's an absolute godsend for the other animals around to feast on the leftovers of the Weddell seals.
Yeah, oh yeah, nothing's wasted down there.
The birds that are more aggressive and carnivorous are the skewers.
Yes, I think pretty well every environment in nature needs some sort of scavengers.
Yeah.
And down there, the skewers are it.
Yeah, so they basically feed on what?
Dead animals, dead birds.
Yeah.
Very like scavengers in that respect.
Mm.
But they also go for living creatures as well. But
Yeah.
they love penguin eggs.
Yeah.
And they'll probably go the occasional chick, or they do go for the occasional chick if they think they can get away with it.
Yeah.
Mind you, they have a battle royal with mum and dad if they try that.
Of course.
Their major food source is scavenging.
Wow.
And that's why they actually nest right beside a Adelie penguin.
If you're not strong enough to survive, or your parents aren't vigilant enough, you've got no chance. You're going to be knocked off.
Actually, on that very point, sometimes the Weddell seals give birth to 2 calves rather than just one.
Mm.
Now, when that happens, normally only one survives, the stronger of the two, and the other one's just left to die. So yeah, brutal, all right.
I think you said that in the notes that if they haven't lost their fur, which is what they're born with, they're sort of fluffy and lovely and whatever. If they fall in the water, then they're just going to drown because of the weight of the fur on their.
I don't know if it's that or if they're not adapted fully to the cold.
One of the interesting things that I just had a thought just then, because I'm looking at your picture over there, which we can put in the background later on, is what do the Weddell seals eat? You said there's squid, sure, little fish, but they're a big animal. They need to eat some substantial food pretty much regularly.
Well, they would probably eat, when they go for fish, they could go for bigger fish than, say, a penguin would.
And I think
Yes, the diets are very similar with the birds, penguins, and the seals.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
the Weddell seals are very important to sustain a lot of the animals in the area because of
Seal holes.
seal holes. That's right.
Yeah, that's it. And that enables the Adelies to come in earlier while the ice is still a little way out because the seals carve holes. They ram their heads through perhaps tide crack or something. And I've watched them do it. They swing their head from side to side and use their teeth sort of like chainsaws.
Yeah.
They just carve out these holes. And then once they've done that, so that enables them to get their food source. But it also enables the penguins to do the same.
To
And they
bounce
all
in and
use,
bounce out,
yes. And so it's all interwoven. The seal holes really do help the penguins.
Yeah. So did you see any sort of interaction between the seals and the penguins? Well, the penguins absolutely rely on the seals to keep those holes open.
I don't know if they express their appreciation like they should, though.
Yeah. They don't pay homage.
No.
All right.
I've just seen they just sort of waddle around on land and just almost ignore each other, but they don't shy away from each other.
They just walk past each other.
Yeah,
hello.
Yeah, not even a nodding hello. How you going?
Do you say the stormy petrels? We've done that one. We've done the petrels.
Yeah, petrels. Well, I've talked about snow petrels.
Yeah. Oh, snow petrels. That's
Yeah.
right. So they're the kind of smallish birds.
No, we haven't really talked about them, but they come in at a similar time.
Okay.
They come in, September to November, and they breed in the rocks, and they actually go down cracks in the rock wherever they find them. It's nice and protected because they're small birds, and they just crawl into them, like a cave, and that's where they breed. And we would find them, and we'd ram our cameras down these cracks. We're using a remote shutter. We'd see if we could get photos. Bit hit or miss, but if you did it often enough, poor birds.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, where's the...
They didn't say they felt violated. But
Now, I understand that leopard seals are one of the top predators in these areas, and they just loll around and eat seals, eat penguins. Is that something you came across in your travels?
Never saw one.
Okay.
Just in our area, if there were any, they were very, very rare because I never saw one the whole time.
So let's just get a perspective here. So during the summertime, how far is the ice from the actual physical mainland?
It would go out, now I said earlier 200 kilometres, but from memory I think I actually meant to say 200 miles.
Right, so that's the furthest.
Yeah, but it varies from year to year, but
Yeah.
it typically goes out that far from the coast. And in fact, in area, if you include the sea ice in winter, it just about doubles in size.
The size of the Antarctic continent.
Pretty amazing.
So during the summertime, that retracts and retracts up to probably how far?
Right to the coast.
Literally right to the coast. That's a huge change in the landscape, isn't it?
Massive. I can say from experience the difference between an Antarctic summer and an Antarctic winter on the coast is dramatic.
It's almost like a migration of animals into the land and then out again to the sea, the seafront.
That's what they do.
So at the sea edge, what's the water like? You get those massive, you get the massive storms and things like that in the roaring 50s and 40s. Is it breaking over the ice itself, or is it fairly?
It could do in places, but I presume the ice edge would crack with the huge swells.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then they'd form a ring of pack ice, which really damps down the sea.
The movement of the sea.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know when we were coming down in December, you'd be going through the roaring 40s and the screaming 50s, and there's swells and boats getting tossed around everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as you get into the pack ice, the swell is dampened right down. It's amazing.
So is that in the 60s? So you've got 40s, 50s, and the 60s.
Yeah.
Sort of into that zone, and then you're sort of heading towards the mainland. And I suppose when you're coming in the summertime, you can go a lot further in.
I don't know what it's like now, but when we went down there in 1975, by the time we got down there, the sea ice was still out about 30 miles out from the coast. And that's where the boat had to stop, and we used choppers to get us all into the base.
Have you ever noticed, I know you didn't go swimming very often.
No. Funny that.
Can you stick your finger in the water and say, okay, that top level is fresh water, and then below it's salt water? Because I've noticed that when I've been swimming in Perth.
I did read an interesting thing in Scientific America recently, where the base of the ice shelves actually gets insulated by fresh water that helps stop the really quick melting coming from underneath.
Oh, okay. So it's like
because that fresh water floats to the top
Yeah.
and just hovers under the ice, and it protects it from the warmer salt water. Yeah.
Very interesting. See, you're learning new things about the Antarctic continent every day.
Yes.
So Let's get back to the animals again because we've sort of drifted off. What was intriguing to me is where the heck the petrels live. I mean, there's snowy petrels. You know, they breed on the land in those crevices or in those tunnels, like you said. And where do they live normally?
They normally live on sub-Antarctic islands or on the mainland. And surprisingly enough, the two most common strictly Antarctic petrels are one's called Antarctic petrel and the other snow petrel.
All right.
There may be others, I'm not sure.
I mean, they live on the mainland.
They do. They if they migrate north, it's not very far.
Yeah.
It's out to the islands.
That's Heard Island and...
Yes, it could get up to as far north as the sub-Antarctic islands like Heard in South Georgia.
From where this winter time is, in terms of how cold it is, to the summer, it's like, wow, it's a huge difference.
It is. And
you know, it's like warm. It's 20 minus
for them, they're probably
0
swimming.
degrees.
Yeah.
0 degrees. Wow, it's a heat wave. 0 degrees.
Actually, interesting thing about the petrels, they dive under the water. Not like the penguins who live under the water, but they'll dive in to get their food. It's the only way they can get it. And then I presume they can come out and fly off again. The waters are really cold, but doesn't seem to worry them. Now, I regard the snow petrel as one of the nicest looking birds, certainly of the small bird variety. Just one time we were driving out to Mount Henderson, which is the closest mountain to Mawson, and there we saw in the current the thermals and what around the mountain.
The mountains are black, aren't they?
Yes.
So they would radiate a bit of
That's right.
daily heat.
They stir up the air quite a lot. And we just saw thousands and thousands of these snow petrels riding these thermals, and it was just an incredible sight. You've seen small fish in the going formation in the ocean. This were birds in the air.
Were they locating around their own nesting sites?
They were just playing in the thermals.
Okay.
Because there's no food there for them.
That's what I thought. But there's no nesting area around there.
No, they were, Mount Henderson would have been, I don't know, about 10 k's inland, maybe not even that, I can't remember.
So would they have been thermaling up to get enough height to be able to fly off to the coast?
Probably they would do that. Yeah. What was amazing was just, there they were, they're just playing in the thermals, just having a merry old time.
And I suppose the other thing is we have to come back to the human aspect of the wildlife side of things. In the winter time where you have to almost go into sort of form of hibernation.
Yeah, well, during the midwinter time, nobody goes anywhere from the base.
Is that strictly a rule? You're just not allowed to leave the base?
It probably would be, but you didn't need that rule, I can tell you.
Because it's just dark and gloomy and...
Yeah, common sense says you don't go venturing off in dark conditions in that environment. Now, with Mawson, which is not that far south of the Antarctic Circle, that period only lasted about a month. And even then you did get, as we've talked about before, enough dusk to have the midwinter race with every vehicle we could get working. Add to that as the midwinter pantomime.
Oh yes, of course.
Cinderella.
Cinderella, yes. Well,
yeah.
We've seen excerpts of that and it was pretty grotesque, I can tell you.
I've seen you in Cinderella too.
Oh, sorry. That's another side of the story. The other thing is, obviously, looking at the Huskies, did we see any cycling of their lifestyle? I know you're only there for a year, but I was thinking that they go on heat every year, but I think when you talked to me before that it's not the case. They just sort of breed when Lars says breed.
Don't know.
Okay, but you said that they had several litters a year. Some of them.
Well, yes. And I think it was dictated by whoever's in charge of the dogs. So they obviously regulate their timing by when the bitches are on heat, and then they'd put them in cages and say, right, go to it, you lot. And yeah, we had about at least 3 litters during the year.
But I know that when they do get on, when it's on, it's on. And
It's
there's
on.
fights like crazy. The males get completely beaten themselves up.
Yeah, because we had one bitch, Norma, who was probably the mother of an awful lot of those dogs because she was a powerful dog and she was a leader for many years, one of the leaders, and we reckon those dogs go a lot faster when she's on heat.
Absolutely. What I was getting at is whether or not they have a cycle that reflects the cycle of the seasons.
For them, the cycle is utter boredom or
Frenzy.
action like mad.
Yeah.
And the utter boredom is summer when you haven't got the sea ice, and you could take them inland, which we did do once. We covered that in a podcast.
Yeah, and that's quite hard for them, isn't it?
It's very hard on them, particularly in the coastal areas, because the ice gets very sharp and cuts their feet, as we found out the hard way.
Any other wildlife that you can describe to us or talk about?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
There's one.
Oh, I've heard this one.
Yes, I wrote about it.
Oh, did you? Okay. Oh, the book.
The book.
Oh, we're getting into the book now. Oh, this
Yes.
is sorry. This is the big publicity thing. The book that Phil wrote. It's a child's book. Actually, it's very, very nice, very quaint. About a young 7-year-old girl who finds herself in Antarctica with her mum and meet interesting creatures along the way. Sorry, did I do too much? Okay, over to you, Phil.
Over to me is a request.
Oh, okay. Oh, is it?
I want you to read out a few pages.
Okay, so are we sure we haven't gone through any other animal life forms? We've seen any whales at all?
Oh, we didn't mention orcas. Now, we did see orcas swimming past, but...
Now, this is in the summertime?
Yes.
Orcas are large killer whales that are extremely good at hunting in packs.
Yes.
So they would be after the seals or the penguins.
Yeah. Oh, yes. They'd go for the penguins. We just saw them very occasionally just migrating past.
Yeah.
During the summer. That's it.
Did the birds actually attack you guys?
As far as I'm aware, there was no messing around with the ecology of the wildlife down there from human interaction. Let me go and get that book.
Eden stood on the ice at the edge of a huge Antarctic continent. She was with her mum as she watched a line of black figures coming towards her. And a big grey blob poked its head out of the hole in the ice. "That's a Weddell seal, Edie." Mum grabbed her camera and moved closer to get a photograph of the seal. "That's my friend Horace. He's big, don't you think?" commented a funny voice. "He sure is. Is Horace really a he?" asked Eden. "Oh, I can always tell," a voice replied. "Okay, but yelled Eden as she turned around. A little Adelie Penguin stared at her. "Hi, little girl. My name's Dizzy. What's your name?" "Hey, penguins don't talk." Page 10. "What's a skewer?" Eden asked. "Squawk!" "That's a skewer," said Dizzy. Eden turned around and there she saw a big brown bird that looked like a giant seagull. It also looked like it wanted to eat her. She grabbed her camera and was about to take a photo. The skewer looked angry. Maybe skewers always look angry. "Desi, what do I do?" Desi flapped his stubby wings and got between Eden and the skewer. The skewer squawked. "He's a member of the egg napper gang." "We don't have any eggs, do we?" Eden wasn't sure about that. "No, we don't, but skewers like to nibble penguins as well." With that, Eden rushed in front of Desi and confronted the skewer. The skewer stood its ground and stared at Eden. Neither moved.
Now, if anyone wants to know how this ended up, you'll have to buy the book.
Available now from
me.
Oh, okay.
I'll leave contact details.
A rollicking read and a great thing for a book to read to your children. It's full of lovely pictures, illustrated by Phil Walter.
More.
Written by Phil Walter. And plots the story of a lovely girl who has great adventures on the Antarctic continent. So lovely pictures as well. But how much is it going to cost?
$15.
$15 Australian dollars for those people who are watching overseas. And yes, Eden in Antarctica by Philip Walter.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Phil. $15, please.
Yeah. He's like it. Yeah. Now I might say this book starts when young Eden and her mother lands on the ice edge.
Ooh. In Antarctica.
In Antarctica, and the penguins are coming at them. And that is exactly what happened to me on Christmas Day 1975.
I was actually going to start that story because I knew that was one of the stories we talked about before.
Yeah.
Where this horde of black figures starts shuffling towards the boat.
So what I've aimed at here is realism.
Yeah. It is kind of ironic because it seems so unreal for this to happen.
What,
but yet
talking penguins?
No. This mob of penguins coming
Yes.
up to a ship, and yet it did happen.
It did happen. They're curious as well. They say, what is this great big red thing doing there? I haven't seen that before. And they just come out to check it out.
Did they sort of jump in the water as well? Or
Yes, some of them would leap in and some of them jump back out. And some of them come right up to us and check us out because they have no fear, as you've already said, of men and women, though there was only men in those days.
So is that a regular thing, do you think?
I've only done it once. It was just something that happened. There was no, hey, everybody expect the penguins to come out. And I suspect that moment has been repeated many years.
Oh, well, there you go. So we've covered everything. We've covered the animal life, the environment, the under the sea world, the great squid colonies that live off the coast, the krills. We did talk about the krill, which supports the entire ecosystem around the Antarctic region.
Around the world, pretty much.
Yeah. And we talked about the dogs, and we've talked about your book, Eden in Antarctica, and talked about the great experience of the penguins emerging to sort of swarm the boat.
Yeah, we were about 30 miles out to sea when this happened.
All right. I think Phil's had enough now. He's getting a bit groggy in the eyes, and
it's lunchtime.
And he's going to edit all this out anyway. So, okay, 3, 2, 1, and cut.
We timed that one beautifully.
We did.